As a comedian, have you experienced anything to do like with the cancel culture or someone wanting you to apologize to a joke that you made? Like, how do you handle something like that?
And that has the there was once that I got pushed back because I did a video, like different uncles in Latino family, and then I had one uncle that was a drug dealer.
I mean, don't we all have an uncle as a drug dealer?
I thought that.
So how you been, Mama? I'm so excited to be back.
We are back in the studio, which is like a whole travesty. Yeah. Here we are.
Yes.
But this is very exciting for us to be back here, to be talking fast and a lot of crap. You know, it's just what we do.
Yes. You know.
You've been traveling quite a bit, no?
I've been traveling for work. I'm excited to be back. I'm going to be traveling again. Knock on wood. There's some projects coming up. I can't talk about them yet, but very excited. Excited that things are, picking up again. I loved our last two shows. They were so good. James, we need to have you back. He needs to be a regular here to comment on the news with us.
He's so good. Also, he just jokes on us. Yes. The longest. So that's good. He's really, really funny in that sense. Like he really knows what's going on, and he just keeps me updated on what's going on in the world. If I don't watch his feed, I have no idea what the controversies are looking like.
Seriously.
So that's really good.
¿Y qué más? Cuéntame. So what are how have you been up to? What have you been up to?
I decided to go back into the dating world, so that's been interesting.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, I'm not posting this on my feed so they don't watch, but it's been a lot of dating. It is crazy out there. It is insanity. It's also like everyone, it's so funny because I'm only on Hinge because I don't have any mental capacity for anything else.
Okay, is that a new one?
I mean, semi. It's just people behave and don't send you dick pics on the second text.
Right.
We just have really high standards here in dating these days. Anyway, so I'm on Hinge, and there's like this new weird thing where when you start talking, you're like, oh, let's exchange numbers. And guys are like, oh, here's my what's up. What's up? What? You're in LA, aren't you? Why are you giving me a what's up? I will not.
Right.
I mean, I have it, but the point is, where do you live that you don't have a phone number here?
Here's the thing. Does WhatsApp work with email? No, it's with phone numbers. So
yes.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. No. It also works with phone numbers. Yeah. My point is, just text me. Why do I need to open another app?
But what is exactly that people? Doesn't make sense. If he says, here's my WhatsApp, just send a text because it's the same thing.
I'm just like trying to understand the logic behind it. Because literally I was like, explain to me, we're getting off an app to get on another app. What are we doing here?
Well, maybe they want to go on the vanish mode. So I know WhatsApp.
But you know what I did? I made them fucking vanish because I don't have time for this shit.
Good for you.
Anyway, so I have a hotation going.
A hotation?
You know about the hotation, right? Ladies,
please explain.
Talk about
please
the hotation.
Expand.
As if you look back to our library a couple of episodes ago, and you look at the how to have a side dick story. Although this is not side dick because this is actually dating, but a hotation is very necessary in everyone's dating life, right? And a hotation is basically 2 to 3 fellas you're actually dating.
Oh my God, I am so proud of you.
I know, I'm proud of myself. I need to cut though. Like next week, I need to sit down, look at the data, look at the negatives and positive points and cut at least one because it's a lot. But yeah, I have a good hotation going. There's about 3.
Good.
I am exhausted because I've had like 4 dates.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Dating is a lot of work. Yeah. It's one of the things people don't talk about, but dating is a lot of work.
Dude, I'm so glad I'm out of the dating game. Oh my God. I don't like, and not just because like I hear what you guys go through and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can hang.
Right.
Like I come from like literally the last time I was single was 2008. And there were like Twitter had just come out, Instagram didn't exist. It was, hey, you want to go get coffee or go to a restaurant? It wasn't. There were no dating apps.
Right.
I don't know how. I couldn't do it. I don't know how you guys do it.
It's madness. It all feels like a job interview. It's all like, should I text first? Do they text first? They texted last. How much should I? It is this game, stupid situation where I have no mental space for. Like we're doing this, we're not doing this. What is it? What's happening?
God bless you guys.
Yeah, all day. And then the hotation is like a necessary part now because you can be thinking of one more than he's thinking of you, and it's like this whole mental warfare.
Well, you know what?
I'm supposed to be building an empire, not trying to figure out who I'm going to make out with on a Friday night. I don't have time for this.
Well, I'm proud of you because when we
Taking the
first
plunge.
started, by the way, this is what started our podcast all together, dating apps.
This is actually
Remember?
because
Because you were showing me how dating apps work.
this is the evolution of this podcast.
Full circle.
This bitch was doing her nails.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm doing nothing. Can I sit next to you while I look at my Bumble? And she's like, tell me what this is. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know what
How
Bumble
does
is?
it work?
You swipe left, swipe right. No. This guy, he likes Animaniacs? No. Like, it's all this kind of stuff. And by the way, guys, this is what women do. We pull up our apps and start showing each other's.
Right. I mean, I still haven't
Conquest.
I haven't been on any of the dating apps. I haven't had the need to because I've been.
No shade. She's not throwing shade at all of us.
No, not throwing shade at all. But, I'm very proud that we went from you not wanting to have any side dicks or anything like that to you actually doing it. I'm so proud of you.
Not the side dick, just the rotation. Can you clarify? Okay. Future husband out there.
Do you think they care?
Of course they care. Men, 100% they care. They just don't want to know about it. Like they don't want to know that you're talking to other guys. They know, but until the
Right.
conversation occurs, there's nothing they can do or say.
Right, exactly. So,
But if a guy's texting you like at 8:30 p.m. and you don't text back, he's like, what's she doing? Like, come on, we all know.
well, I mean, we would think the same thing, right?
Yeah, true.
So it goes both ways.
No, but we already crucified them, so it's fine. It's the other way around. Like they have to think that we're the angels. And
Well,
like,
we are. We're the prize.
This is true.
El hombre
Prize-
propone y la mujer dispone.
Prices don't chase winners.
That's right.
Put that in a t-shirt. Anyway, so that's been happening. And there's one front runner, right? Because now you have a front runner.
Right.
Now you have a list of like, okay, where do we put these people? And like,
So
we'll see.
what's your criteria? Like, what do they have to fall in the categories 1, 2, 3, 4? In which
A lot of it is
order?
chemistry. Like I would love to say that it's a type, and it is a type, and most of them look pretty similar. But
Yes.
they do. Like
I mean,
if you
yeah.
look through my Rolodex
Yes.
of men, it's like, yeah, this on brand.
she has a type.
On
Yeah.
brand, it checks out. Like, yeah. But it's definitely chemistry. It's definitely like wit, how smart they are, and things like that. Like that will definitely get you up or down the Rolodex.
Right.
Of
Okay.
course. But there's one front runner. I'm not gonna say anything because he like spies on my Instagram
He
sometimes.
does.
He doesn't have Instagram, which is funny. Like he has one, but he doesn't use it.
So he has one to stalk people. In this case, you.
That's kind of part of his job. He works in law, so yeah.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
interesting because he doesn't actually use. It's so funny because before our like second date, he looks at my stories and like I could see his name. There's no picture, but it's like his name. So I text him. I'm like, "Oh, you found me." He was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "You found me on social media." He goes and calls his friend and is like, "How does she know?" He had no idea that by looking at my stories, I could tell. I was like, "What other
man.
things are you gullible in?" Because I'm liking this. Yeah, no,
Bless
nothing.
his heart.
Bless his sweetheart.
Siempre lo hemos dicho, los hombres son
Not all of them.
No,
some
not
of them.
Yeah, but in general,
They're more elusive than we are, for sure.
yeah, we're a little bit more.
It's like cheating. Do women like the age-old question? Do women or men cheat more?
I think they all cheat the same. I think they
Okay.
both cheat the same.
Okay.
Nowadays, before, maybe not. Maybe it was more men than women. I think now, because of social media, because everything is so accessible and easy.
And women are more empowered and like know that they can do whatever
Yes.
they want and don't depend on a man to buy them dinner,
Absolutely.
you know? But I also think, and this goes back to what we were just talking about, I think women just know how to do things better.
Yeah.
Like, we just kind of do. Also, like we were talking about this earlier this week, where vengeance, men and women it's very different thing. Like men are
Completely.
very reactive, and women are like sitting on it and thinking
They
about it.
calculate. We calculate
And
what
we're
going to do.
fucking mean.
Yes.
It is not nice. Like a man will just say something very reactive. They could probably get into a fist fight. That's just part of their biology. Women are like, oh, wait for me at the end. I gotcha.
Yep.
And it's never pretty. Like it's always a lot, right? Hell, health, no fury as a
The
woman.
only thing about that is that it takes so much energy, though. I mean, I think we could be using that energy towards something else, towards ourselves. But I have to say, sometimes it does feel amazing.
petty. I mean, petty is my middle name.
Listen, no, I've had, we talked about it at James shows. I've had my petty moments, and I'm okay with it. It's fun.
Listen, it feels good. Feels good to do something and rub it in someone's face sometimes. I'm just
Heck
saying.
yeah. Heck yeah. There's something I'd love to talk about. And
Other than my quotation going.
I think, which listen, you need to keep having more of that. But there's something that's been very, trending right now, and it's like the red flag, green flags.
Oh yeah, the red flags. They're so funny.
What is this? I've seen it.
I don't know where it started.
I don't know where it started.
I don't know where it started, but all of a sudden you're seeing people like what their idea of a red flag is, and all sorts of things, men, women, business,
Yes.
all sorts of things, and I think it's hilarious.
I mean, one of the accounts that I follow, Trashback Astrology, which is hilarious.
So good. You got me to follow that account.
Right?
It's so good.
And by the way, so accurate.
It is.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So like one of the red flags, which I found hilarious, was if he's straight, but he knows his sun sign, his rising, his moon, and what time he was born, that's a big red flag.
Mm-hmm. If he makes you to pay for dinner, red flag.
If someone says, you pay for it and I will Venmo you the money, red flag.
All day. All day. One more. Michael, what's a red flag?
Man.
I know, put you on the spot.
So many red flags.
So
I saw
many.
this the other day on Twitter, and there was one that I liked. Man, I forget what it was, though.
There's a lot of good
yeah, I
ones
don't
out
know.
there.
In Dominican Republic, if you bring a whole case of pica pollo, green flag.
Hell yeah. Have you bred the fried chicken?
Yes.
All day. If he texts you the day after the day, green flag.
Also,
Uh-huh.
if he gives you tickets for the Coldplay concert that's happening in the DR next year, green flag.
I mean, clearly it's all DR for Catherine. Anything DR related is green.
I was
green
just there.
flag.
I mean,
Did you watch Coldplay?
Coldplay is going to be in concert in the Dominican Republic next year in March.
Wow, the Brits really do love DR.
Yeah. Yep.
I
First
just went-
time ever.
I went to the Rolling Stone concert this year.
I saw that. How was it?
Okay, let's talk about the Rolling Stone concert. First of all, Mick Jagger is like 5'6", 90 pounds wet. Wet. This man is tiny. For sure he buys clothes at the kids center, like at the kids store. Like he's so tiny. But I was always very shocked that the 78-year-old was like jumping around
I
the whole
know.
night. It was pretty splendid. I mean,
Nice.
Keith, the other with the eyeliner,
Yes, Keith Richards.
Keith Richards, thank you. He was so lost. This man, he had no idea where the fuck he was. There were some points he was just like holding onto the guitar, looking to the side, longing for his younger years, I bet. But like it was
He was
so
probably
funny.
sleeping.
Oh, they were all probably dead. This was all probably just projections of them. But it was great. It was pretty epic.
Nice. Well, talking about Coldplay, I had the opportunity to go a few years ago
Mm-hmm.
to see them in Berlin. And they had, I think it was, what was the name of the album, Michael? Do you remember the one?
Clocks.
No, the one with Beyonce. I think it was called Colors. Maybe it was Colors. The best concert ever. And I've seen like U2 and I've seen other bands. And I
Mhm.
have to say, no one tops so far Coldplay, Chris Martin, the energy. He kept the energy up the entire time. I think they sound better live than in their
Mm.
records, which is amazing. So I'm very excited to see, what they do now that they have a new album out, what they do in the Dominican Republic. I'm sure it's not only going to be a Dominican audience. I'm pretty sure that people are going to
Latin
fly from
America,
all over
for
the
sure.
world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But talking about new music, Adele is back.
I know.
Sad
And
Girl.
she got divorced. So
Sad Girl Fall is in full fury. Get your rosé, get your comfy sweaters. It's coming. We are all gonna cry. We're all gonna mellow with her. That album is so good. I mean, that song is pretty darn deep already.
But like everything she does, though, she's just that talented. She's been
Mhm.
away for how long? When was the last time she released a
I don't know,
record?
2-3 years probably more.
At
At
least,
yeah. She's good.
She's,
She came back skinny. You lose a husband,
She
you lose
came,
100 pounds.
she came back with a vengeance. That's the vengeance right there.
She was petty wop.
Yeah.
Petty wop all the time. She's like, oh, you're going to sue me? Here you go. Wait, is she still paying alimony? Because
I'm
remember
not sure.
how
Yes,
he
yes.
okay, talk about petty. He's real fucking petty though. And he won that battle. He won that one.
Listen,
like-
she's gonna come back with a vengeance. I'm sure.
Well, because they got divorced and he sued her because he said, I don't know if you guys remember, but he said that the reason why she took off and her album took off was because the whole album was about him and how fucked up he was to her.
Oh my God, narcissist alert. That's a big red flag right there.
Can you imagine someone that's been a parasite that's been living off of you, that cheated on you, that mistreated you, that basically made you feel like a piece of shit, and then is suing you because he inspired you to write horrible songs? Like, what is wrong with people?
Get the fuck out of here. I mean, hombres así? Seriously?
Why can't I just be a lesbian? Maybe I'm just going to become trans.
Okay.
Foreshadowing.
Well, speaking of,
Or maybe bi.
why not?
Yeah.
I mean,
Bipolar.
wait,
Already.
aren't you already there? Okay.
Can you imagine if you tell a guy on your first day, hey, I'm bi, and they're so excited?
Turned
so
on.
excited. They're like, what? They're like, oh, the threesomes that we're going to be having. Oh, yeah.
No, honey.
Bring your
Or the
girlfriends.
threesomes with your double, with all your
All
personalities.
your personalities. And then you let them know. It's like, oh, no, I'm just diagnosed bipolar. Like, did you not like that? It's...
Yeah, she's got multiple personalities. MK Ultra time. By the way, I'm having so much fun talking about Dominican Republic. I'm having so much fun with the page Team Dominican. They've been posting hilarious stuff lately.
Hilarious stuff.
I wanted to talk about a little bit now that we're talking about Dominican Republic, even though this is not Dominican, but we very much feel him ours. Residente. What
Yes.
about that beef with J Balvin? Let me tell you, I've always liked Residente.
Me too. Always. He's been very political. He's like my Bernie
Yes.
Sanders of music.
Yes.
Like he's always been himself. Like there's never been a change in who he is a person, whether you agree or you don't. You have to give him credit because he's always been himself. So I appreciate that.
Oh my God, the way he swept the floor with J Balvin,
And I like J
have to
Balvin
say,
too. But yeah.
I mean, I kind of like. I used to like J Balvin, but after seeing what was going on, I was like, yeah, sorry, he lost me.
He's such a little wimpy baby bitch.
He lost me. He lost
Like,
me.
here's the thing, and I think Residente made a really good point. Like, how dare you come out and say the Latin Grammys suck, the Latin Grammys this, when you didn't get a nomination for the shitty-ass album you made? Come on, J Balvin, that was a shitty-ass album.
Completely. And again, like what Residente says, they're going to be honoring Ruben
Yes.
Blades. Like, how are you going to tell the Latin community, don't come out and celebrate Ruben Blades' artistic life, which basically opened doors and put our culture in the map.
And so many other musicians that this is how
Yes.
they earn a living, right? Like, this is how they earn a living. Small orchestras or small groups get recognized for their actual artistry, right? Not
Yes.
just for selling records and just for being on MTV and dancing with a chick. Like, it's not the same
Yeah.
thing.
So for this one, I have to say I'm with Residente all the way. I've always loved him. I've always been a big fan of everything that he does, not only artistically, but politically, the way he's involved. He's also a film director, very talented. He's directed most of his videos.
I used
So-
to have the biggest crush on him. So cute.
Well, hopefully we can have him here one day. René, nos gustaría tenerte aquí en el podcast, eh?
She's aiming real low this one. She's like real freaking low. I love
Con
it.
una cerveza Residente.
That's right.
Why not, right?
Absolutely.
Love to cheers with him.
You know that I've changed my stance on cancel culture.
In what sense?
You might cancel me for this.
No,
Okay.
I'm not into. I won't cancel people.
Wait,
I
if you
I
cancel a
respect you-
canceler, does it equal out?
It's a negative, so
Mathematics.
it's nothing. But here's the thing: I'm not into cancel culture. I respect people's opinion. People are allowed to think different than me.
all
so-
day. But this is where you might not cancel me, but this is my stance on cancel culture. And I think a lot of people that are doing whatever the hell they want to do and not looking back have actually understood this as well.
Mhm.
And it's the fact that you can only get canceled if you accept what people say as true.
Right. Yes.
So if you just operate from the point of like, this is just my artistry, this is what I do, I have no ill will with anything that I'm doing,
Right.
and just don't even talk about it, put out your stuff and just keep it going, you won't get canceled. So you can only, my theories on cancel culture is that people that are really yelling cancel are really not so talented to begin with.
I'm with you on that. Why would I cancel you for
Okay,
that?
great. We're on the same boat. So we're not going to get canceled.
No.
That's it. All good.
Listen, I think people are always going to have opinions.
Or not.
and- Or not. But you know what? People are not always going to agree with us, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We're not here to get people to agree with us on everything,
I know. Remember when you were little and then the neighbor was like the weird one and you just didn't talk about it, but you would just say hello and wave goodbye and mom will tell you that that's the weird neighbor, but there was no hatred. Why can't we go back to those times? Now it's like, that motherfucker is bad and like let's tell the HOA to take this person out. Like now it's with this visceral hate that we need to reciprocate, where before it was just like you didn't like that person, you waved goodbye, you kept it moving and it's done.
Keep it moving. Exactly.
That's it. So why are we going through these extremes to get people out of jobs and like
I feel like cancel culture started like around the, oh my God,
wokeism?
Harvey Weinstein, the Me Too movement. Like this dude's bad. He needs to be done.
Right.
And kind of like what you said, now it's just like everybody feels like they have the power to
It's
cancel
out of
whatever.
control.
And it's just completely out of control.
It's also wokeism, right? Like we feel that everyone needs to say what they think all the time and then categorize it. Let's put a sticker on it.
Well, it's because now everyone has a platform, social media.
This is true.
And they can kind of like rally up people to support these views. And it's okay to have a view, but why, again, go through the energy, the time of trying to get someone canceled? I mean...
But, you know, get here safe. We'll see you here at 12 or close to that, and then we can just go from there. No problem. No, do we need the Dominican time? I'm telling you. I was just going to say that. Bueno, I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
2,000 years later.
I mean, San Diego is
San Diego,
pretty.
oh my God. San Diego, the lifestyle over there is different. It's laid back.
It's very mellow.
Very mellow. And there's a lot of things to do. There's more Dominicans down there than there's over
I
here.
keep hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more Dominicans. There's a Dominican club. If I want sancocho, I know where to go.
There's a restaurant there, no? There's like one restaurant everyone
goes to.
There's like one
restaurant. Anywhere is 15 minutes away from the beach. The traffic over there is not the same as over here. You know, traffic is still bad, but not LA bad.
Not LA bad. Well, it's not Santo Domingo bad for sure.
No. It ain't no Santo Domingo bad. Santo Domingo is horrible.
Oh my God. Like if you can drive in Santo Domingo, you can fucking drive anywhere. It's
en Santo Domingo they don't give a fuck.
No, pero que
There's no rules.
No, they know, pero que supuestamente, ¿viste lo que dijeron? Que supuestamente no hay tapones per se. That's a... Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear that.
El ministro de Transporte, precisamente, was saying that in Dominican Republic, in Santo Domingo, que no hay tapones per se. Of course no hay tapones per se. I mean, he transports himself in a freaking helicopter, o tiene franqueadores that just opens, you know, the road for them. Come on.
Es un animal.
Bien dicho.
Es un animal that said that shit.
Totalmente. Well, welcome to another episode of Talk Fast, Listen Slow. I'm Angela.
I'm Catherine.
And our guest is...
El negro peligroso.
Ya tú sabes.
Se puso bueno la cosa.
We are so happy to have you here, Gadiel.
I'm happy to be here.
He's also Dominican, so this is just a Dominican gang.
We're home. We feel like home.
We're
here.
home.
Yeah.
We're having sancocho, just talking about it.
Word.
And he is a comedian. He is an entertainer. He's a multiple entrepreneur. He's doing so many great things here in LA and San Diego, all over the place. He's all over the place. Welcome.
Well, welcome. Well, thank you for having me. Well, tú también, tú eres una tigre. You do real estate, podcast, toda esa mierda. ¿Qué más tú haces?
You know, Dominicans, we have every hustle.
We hustle.
We do not stop hustling.
We
it doesn't
do.
end.
And we're going to get into something. We're going to figure out a way to make it happen.
Yep.
All day.
One way.
So,
Nosotros vendemos hielo en Alaska.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Talking a little bit about hustle, how did you get started in comedy? How did that happen for you?
Oh, I was like the funny guy in the Navy. Like the guy that, you know.
I read that you were in the military.
Yeah, I was in the Navy, so like the sailors would look for me like, yo, bring the Orbe, tell the Orbe to come through that motherfucker funny.
El dominicano, claro.
El dominicano, so yo siempre hacía coro. I was always in the mesdex. Yo casi no estaba trabajando.
In the where?
In the mesdex, that's the cafeteria.
I didn't hear right. Okay, go on.
The cafeteria, basically.
Okay.
I'm like, there goes Gadiel del Orbe, mesdec pimpin'.
Mesdec pimpin'.
That's what they called it. And then when I left, I was like, I would love to do stand-up, but I was afraid of public speaking.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it anyways. Like, even though I'm afraid of public speaking, like, ¿qué es lo peor que me puede pasar?
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen?
Right. I think I saw Kevin Hart's Laughing My Pain, and I was like, yo, if that dude could do it and he still gets nervous going up on stage, I want to be able to do that, right? And I started doing stand-up, and then it went well.
Where did you start stand-up?
I started down in the what is it? The The Comedy Pad is down in San Diego.
Wow.
We go back to San Diego.
Shout out
We
to
start in San Diego.
Yeah.
Well, I was living in San Diego.
Yeah.
because
Oh, right.
The naval base is in San Diego.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, 4 años y medio, I started doing stand-up, and then my ex-girlfriend at that time, she was like, you should do videos. You funny.
That's when social media started becoming a thing, right?
Yeah. But it was like a thing already, but it's not a lot of people was doing it.
Right.
Like, except like Juan James was in the forefront of it.
Right. Le Juan James.
Le Juan James, right.
Right.
And then I was like, you know what? You're right. I'm funny. I should do it. And then
I'm funny. I
you
know.
have to sigh. And then I started doing videos, and then pero like was looking for somebody because social media is not easy.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of content creation.
Work, yes.
A lot.
It's a lot of content creation, and then you have to keep it fresh. And then
Fresh.
you're only as good as your last funny video,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, it's more about consistency because not every video is funny.
Right. Right.
Like some things are more serious. There's some I think, pero like what we went in on the BuzzFeed, but what BuzzFeed had is that they had it down to a science.
They did. They truly did.
Right.
Yeah, so that their way of thinking was go wide then go deep, which means like we throw a lot of content, let's see what hits. If that hits, then we could recreate that content somewhere else. So like that, then we go
Right.
deep, and that's how the
That's
term.
that's a great social media strategy
Yeah.
idea.
But for that also, like, you have to have the team.
Yeah.
The
Well, sure, but the strategy of
Yeah.
let's cast a wide net, let's
Yeah.
see what sticks, and then let's recreate
And
what
then
sticks.
recreate what
Absolutely.
sticks. Go
Yeah.
wide and then go deep. The term viral, where you think came from?
Someone had a virus?
No, no.
No.
Where
No.
did it come from?
The term viral came from BuzzFeed.
Really?
Yes.
No
Going viral,
way.
people didn't use that term. Oh, that person went viral.
No, that's
Ah,
true.
BuzzFeed fue que vino con esa vaina de viral.
They infected all of
Wow.
us.
Ya tú sabes. Sí.
They infected all of us.
Eso
with this
cochino.
stuff.
So yeah, so they created a behavior in society,
That's crazy.
which is that impacts society. That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember I used to sit down at BuzzFeed meetings. I was a bit like, yo, we have over 1 million shares on this video. We got 10,000 views on this YouTube video. We got 20 million views on the other video. I'm like, damn,
Insane.
y'all taking over the internet. Like, these people really are taking over the internet. And I want to be with these people. I want to learn what they
course.
know. Like, for me,
Right.
it was like, this is going to be the school that I'm going to learn how social media works.
This is
Right.
Comedy University.
Yeah.
I like
But
it.
not comedy university, but like
Just
social
social
media,
media
itself.
university. Because if you go through social media with the lens of it's all comedy, then you're gonna be stuck there,
This is true.
right?
Yeah.
There's so many things that work besides being funny. It's not all about
No,
people think it's all about being funny, but no, it's about being interesting
Right.
at
Right.
the end of the day.
Well, one of the things before I met you today, of course, that I loved about you is that I could see myself, como Dominicana al fin, I could
Yeah,
see
yeah.
myself in your work.
Thank you.
Where a lot of the stuff that I've seen from Latinos, it never resonated with me because it was from another culture. And of course, still Latina, but it didn't feel like home to me.
Yeah.
So anytime I saw you, I was like, yes, like
Yeah,
he
thank
gets
you.
me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's very important. And
Thank
now I've seen more of that. And I think Pero Like was the first one to start showcasing Dominican way of comedy.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. You know, I'm not gonna give Pero like the first one, right? Because you got to give credit where credit is due. That's Dominican.com.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
Where
That's
the
right.
where that's Dominican.com was for Dominicans, right?
Right.
They weren't
For
really
us,
for
by us.
yeah for us by us, right?
Right.
But it wasn't for the rest of the world, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanted to bring that's Dominican.com to Pero Like because Pero Like was the hub for Latinidad.
Right.
I feel like that's Dominican.com could have branched over if they would have been like, okay, this is Dominican, but there's also Latinidad within Dominicans. I think Dominican.com would have been something greater than
Right.
anything. Because that's Dominican.com. I don't know, you guys seen it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Hilarious.
So funny.
Yep.
They were the first, and they were hilarious. But I feel like that's Dominican.com was the thing that inspired me, right?
Nice.
And it was like, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if there was no Dominican.com. I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing today,
Right.
right? And that's why I want to show always respect when I talk about them. Tommy Peña,
Yeah.
Manuel Manis P,
Yep.
and whatnot. So when I came to Peru, like I didn't want to work for BuzzFeed. I was like, nah,
Right.
I wanted to do Latino shit.
Right.
But I wanted to be the Tommy Peña en Peru, like, in a sense.
Nice.
Right?
So you use all those things as inspiration, as
Yeah.
guidance, as
Yeah.
learnings to now be the Gadiel that you are today.
Yeah.
And create all the content
Yeah.
in the way that you're doing them today. And I think it's also very important to highlight that there's so many comedians out there, so many entertainers, right?
Yeah.
Like not
Right.
just comedians, but entertainers. Except in your case, you do stand-up comedy. You
Yeah.
are an actual
An
comedian.
actual
You
comedian,
write
yeah.
jokes, you know how to deliver them, all that kind of great stuff. But I think the tricky part of being Latinos is that we have to be general. And it's so hard to truly connect, to your point, to
Right.
truly connect with someone when you're just saying general Hispanic stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I hit you with a correo, a trevio chancleta. We can all understand that.
Yeah.
But talking about like waking up at 6 a.m. and cleaning with
Con el gallo.
Luis Vargas, it's,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a very Dominican thing. So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's kind of hard to go from general to specific. And I think
Yeah.
you do a very good job at that.
Thank you. Yes.
Now let me. I'm curious to ask you about because we started talking about this just before you arrived. But as a comedian, have you experienced recently? Because I feel that this is something quite recent. Anything to do like with the cancel culture or someone wanting you to
Any
to
pushbacks?
apologize to a joke that you made? Like, how do you handle something like that?
And that has no. There was ones that I got pushed back because I did a video, like different uncles in Latino family, and then I had one uncle that was a drug dealer.
I mean, don't we all have an uncle as a drug dealer?
I thought that. Turns out it was just me.
What? It's just us? Okay.
Dominicans, we in there. We like, especially in New York City, like you everybody had an uncle in the drug game, right?
Right? Yeah.
Everyone had a bodega that was a front.
Yeah, exactly. They were laundering money.
It had like 2 cans of beans. And
yeah,
then all of a
they're
sudden,
like,
you're
come
like, wait,
on,
what?
how you making that much
How
money?
you making money with 2 cans of beans? As we all know.
Ven acá, vamos a hablar claro.
Vamos a hablar claro.
But all my uncles were drug dealers. Me growing up in
Right.
New York City, like 140, 30 block, all my uncles were drug dealers.
That was the hustle.
That was the hustle. But then I had to understand that this was not a Latino thing. That was just a me thing.
That was just a personal example
I
of
was like,
life.
oh shit, that was not all Latino were drug
Okay.
dealers. Oh damn.
Wait, it's not funny to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
We were offended. They're like, oh my God. I'm like, first of all, your ass came from a privileged background. Because
Yeah.
like when you come from the hood, like you need it. Half of your family members were drug dealers, or at least you at least had one cousin
Right.
that was a
That's
drug
true.
dealer.
You
If you grew
encounter
up, if you came up from the hood, but if you came from like Ohio, you never
Right,
been
right.
through anything, claro que tú no vas.
Que
You're
tú
not
no-
you're not
claro.
gonna resonate with something like that. And those were the backlash I got. But I'm not with cancel culture, I'm gonna be honest. Because cancel culture is whether you're black or white.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no gray area.
Mhm.
It's so quick to be like, oh my God, let's cancel them. I'm furious. I'm mad. But there's no more conversation. Social media, todo el mundo quiere ser el héroe.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
everyone wants to have the right opinion,
The
right?
right
Right.
opinion, exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's so convoluted and polarizing, even with politics.
Oh.
Yes.
Like, remember, we were kids, people would be like, don't talk about politics.
Yeah, no one cared.
Nobody talking
You
about
were like,
politics.
hey, listen, I know that you voted for someone else. I did it. We just don't talk about it. And everyone
Right.
kept it moving.
Right.
There was years that I voted Republican. There was years I voted Democrat.
We don't talk
Right.
about it. No one
And
cares.
that's it. Nobody cared. It wasn't
Right.
so much within our life. We're like, right?
And it's gotten so strong and
Yeah.
heavy now that if you dare to question anything from this administration, immediately you're Republican. No,
Yo,
this
no.
has or you voted. This has nothing to do with that. You're just
Yeah.
questioning something that, in tu opinion, is
Exactly.
not right. Like,
there's things I'm conservative about.
right.
I'm a gun owner.
Yeah.
There's things that I'm liberal about. I think the minimum wage is extremely low for people in bigger cities,
Very true.
right? So,
And
but-
4.3 million people just quit their jobs
Yeah.
which is so insane.
Yeah.
But also shows you that people are ready to make a change. And that's
ready
great.
to make a change.
Yeah.
So it's like the thing is, it's like I gotta put one side of it. It's like tribal. It's very tribal.
tribalism.
Very- yes.
Yeah.
Tribalism,
100%.
like I'm for Black Lives Matter, but I'm like, what are we gonna do for the police? There's things that police
Yep.
need help too.
Yeah.
Right. Also, we gotta talk. And white people coming in and saying like, oh, the police do so much. Blue Lives Matter, but I'm like, you white people, y'all don't understand that the police move different areas.
Yep.
I live in the hood now. Like the police moves different. For me, I moved in there with white ideologies. I'm like, let me call the police. And these niggas
let's talk
never
about
showed
it.
up. They never showed up. Right? They'd be like, we'll be there in 15 minutes.
Never again.
3 horas después, they're like, you know what? I don't think they coming.
Yeah.
I remember I called them. I was like, there was gunshots outside. They're like, are you sure those were gunshots? I'm like, you asked me. If I was white, would you ask me, am I
No.
sure?
Oh, really?
No, they would have been like, yo,
Yeah.
there's a cat missing. Let's go.
There's a cat missing.
Let's go.
Let's have a viewing party.
But there's also things that the police officers, once they retire within 5 years, they die. People don't talk about that.
Right.
Is it because they lose their purpose? What's the reason?
You also understand every day you're when you go to work, you're risking your life.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very true.
You're every time you're there, like, and now it's so political that you're the bad guy at all times. What if you're a good cop?
Right.
Yeah.
I got family members that are police officers.
Yeah.
They are good cops. There's cops that are of color. There are cops that are for Black Lives Matter, but they can't say nothing because police officers cannot be involved in politics, right? But what are we going to do with the police? Are we investing in them? Are we giving them? They need longer vacations. A police officer should be taking off 2 months out of the year to be like, yo, you need to. A police officer deals with the negativities of the world. Nobody calls a cop and like, hey, by the way, you guys want a donut? We have great things happening in this neighborhood. Everything that's negative, a police officer deals with it every
That's
single
very true.
day of their life.
I mean,
very
it's, and we never talk about this either. Mental health in men.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah, number one cause of death is suicide.
men are expected to be strong all the time. Suck it up. You got this.
You
be
got
a
this.
man. No, like
Don't cry.
men also need a moment to. They need help. They need a moment to disconnect, to get help, to whatever it is that will make them heal.
And also therapy is something that you got money. Like that's something like it costs a lot of money.
Yes.
I make good money now, so I'm able to afford a therapist.
They
But
heard it, ladies. He's going to therapy. He's healing.
healing.
Call him.
But I'm still working on it. But I'm saying like I'm paying $175 per session.
Yeah.
Right.
Not everybody is a
Right.
luxury to be like, I
It
have a
is.
therapist now. When you broke, you're like, yo no voy a pagar esa vaina.
Right.
It's
Right, 'cause
eating
you
or
have to choose,
therapy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Eating or therapy. That's right.
So
So, and did you get a moment to catch Dave Chappelle's show?
I saw the closer.
What
What'd you
are
think
your
about
views?
it?
Because this is all very hot topic right now.
I'm a fan of Dave Chappelle. I feel like in comedy, he's the GOAT. He's the
Yes.
one
Yeah,
leading the
100%.
charge.
Yes.
Even though a lot of people don't be talking about Aida Rodriguez, like she's also a GOAT.
Oh,
And
Aida
because, like,
Rodriguez, a queen.
she's the queen.
Seriously.
So, like, I feel like everybody talks about everybody else, but I'm like, I don't feel like Aida gets the respect that she deserves. This woman, she has an HBO special coming out soon.
Yes.
She's been on HBO. She's been on Showtime.
On Netflix.
And she has a Netflix special.
Yes.
And she's been the one that's gone more viral from her jokes. And I just saw her last night. She has a completely new 20 minutes that are like, this woman is a master of this craft.
She really
She
is.
is.
Right. So going back to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, as a comedian, you have this tribal thing as well. Like you're like,
Right.
this is our crew. As comedians, we understand each other, right? We say things. I think we do have a responsibility to be reckless, right?
Right.
It's a license. I feel like
It's like-
comedy
Right.
had a license.
It has a license.
Yeah.
This is the problem. There's a problem, and there's okay. This is a complicated subject because there's no right or wrong. Like we said, like there's no black or white. There's a
Exactly.
gray area. There's no like. I wouldn't say that he's transphobic.
No.
But there
Right.
were comments in there. The transphobia is a little complex,
Yes.
and we don't talk about the nuances of
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
That's the word. Everything is nuanced.
Nuance.
Yeah.
I like that Dave Chappelle was like, yes, we need to have empathy, right, towards me, but also, empathy goes both ways, and it's
yes.
true.
Yes.
We can't just go right away. Oh, outrage! This is an opportunity for everybody to learn because trans issues. I'm not part of the community. I'm not
Right, right.
I'm not the authority to talk
Right.
about the trans community, but I do have these conversations with trans people.
Mm-hmm.
I just the trans issues are complex issues that the society is still trying to learn and understand. I am not the authority, but I am a little tired of I'm a straight guy and whatever, I'm cisgender, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cisgender men, when you see Joe Rogan does not bring his trans person to talk about these issues. I'm like, why you bring other white men to talk about trans issues. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, Dave Chappelle special, yes, there was things in there that he said that was for the trans community, but there was things that were a complete opposite.
Right.
Como he was talking about that he's what is it? What is that term? The group of feminist women that alienate trans women. What is it?
Yeah, he explained the terminology.
TERF.
TERF.
Yeah,
Yes.
TERF. So he gave this is the complexity of the stand-up. The complexity is he is talking about black issues with the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't negate that. He's talking about black issues within the whole his issues was with white people.
Yes.
But then you align yourself with white people. right? You're like I'm for black people and I'm against the white trans of it all, right? But then you're also siding with the TERFs that are the white feminists that go against the black LGBTQ. Makes sense?
Right.
So which goes against your own thing, right? At the end of the day, Dave Chappelle is not the authority on these issues. Right?
It's funny because what I got from it, and I can see your points very much, but what I really got from it is that he was trying to make light of there's so much heaviness out there. And we just pick a topic and take that topic and just, just like focus on it until the point where we no longer know what reality is. There's no lightheartedness in anything anymore.
Gotcha.
Right? Where before it was like, you know, like when he made the stone riot, right? Like he made a joke about that because it's true. Like that was like really hardships, and it's still hard to be a gay man or to be a trans person, to be anything that's not heterosexual. It's a very hard thing to do. But he was saying is the amount of black people that die every year hasn't decreased.
Yeah.
There's still so many things that black people deal with. He's like, what are the priorities here? What do we focus here? If you're a trans black, which one do you go for? Like, and it's such a hard conversation to have, right? Because if you're a trans white man, then you're just a white man when it comes to rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
it's a very complicated issue.
It's very complex. There's no right or wrong.
Exactly.
He's not perfect. He's an imperfect person. The stand-up is imperfect as well as all human beings are. We're all imperfect. I'm not a big fan of cancel culture. We're right away. We're like, we're gonna do this, whatever. But también we also we have to give light. Things you say are.
They have weight.
They have weight.
They carry weight.
They carry weight. At the end of the day, mira Hitler. Hitler said he had weight with his tongue. With his tongue, it was a massive genocide that he did to the Jewish community.
That's right.
You know, he didn't have to pick up a gun. He didn't have to. He did all of that with his tongue. So we have a responsibility. But we have to be we do have to be responsible with what we say.
I think the good thing is that it's encouraged conversations.
Encourage conversations.
That's all we can hope for. Like, let's all talk about this. If cisgender men had conversation about trans more and more often, this would be a better place. Because when we all come to more of an understanding, the problem is when it lurks in the shadows, right? Like when all these opinions are lurking in the shadows and you just make fun of them, that's when it becomes dangerous. I think the point of we actually talk about them.
And also the fact, not only to make fun of them, but also the fact when they come on so hard, like the term that he used, punching down on someone, that's not the way to have other people learn about your situation. It's good to have an open conversation without judging, because everyone is going to have a different opinion. We're not all going to think the same, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
It's okay to disagree, to agree to disagree sometimes, right?
That's true.
We can still be friends.
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. I think what makes it difficult is the trans community, they have a high suicide rate.
100%.
Yes.
And black trans women and Latinx trans women is harder for them.
Yes.
And they're killed.
Because we're already a minority. They're already a minority.
They're already
and on top of that,
otro minority.
Otro minority,
Son
yes.
triple minoría.
Yes.
La tripleta.
Yes, la tripleta. And also you have to, and people are so quick to be like, no, you're not trans. You're probably confused. I'm like, somebody is saying they identify themselves to the whole world and feels more comfortable walking in those shoes. I'm pretty sure that person knows themselves more than everybody else.
Right.
With the hardships they know that they're going to face. Who chooses this?
Who chooses
Right.
this?
No, no one
Do you
chooses.
understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so let's take this to a little bit of a lighter situation, if you will.
So it's your curry
Yeah,
combo.
we'd love to have you back.
Yes. I would love to. And next time I'll be more on time.
Not in Dominican time.
Not in Dominican time. Yeah, tell me 30 minutes earlier.
All right.
What you saying no for?
This was Talk Fast, Listen Slow. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. I'm Catherine Castro. Our guest is
Gadiel del Orbe.
And this is Angela, and you know where to find us. Wherever you pod, that's where we are. Also on YouTube. Find us. Swipe up. OnlyFans is not up yet. Bye.
Bye.